Hell's Kitchen Season 22 Episode 2 Review. That's right, good people. The honeymoon is over, and after watching this episode, we finally get a much clearer look on which cast members are contenders and which are the pretenders. So over the course of this video, I'll be briefly recapping the episode, I'll give my thoughts on some of the chefs, and I'll make my predictions for which chefs have the best chance to get a black jacket. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. The episode kicks off with the cast members meeting in the kitchen and completing the Scallop challenge. For this challenge, the chefs have to grab, clean, and cook their scallops in 45 minutes. After cooking their dishes, each team would select the top 3 dishes from their team, and Gordon gets to select the best dish from each team. The winners of the challenge get the much anticipated punishment pass. Now, as I was watching this challenge, one thing that stood out to me was seeing how Lee bounced back from a disastrous signature dish challenge. Who would have thought that she went from overcooking salmon to cooking a delicious scallop dish? Nevertheless, I think it's entirely too soon to determine whether Lee will make it to the final 3, but I can confidently say that her poor showing in episode 1 may have been due to her nerves getting the best of her. Now, outside of that, this challenge went exactly the way I expected it to go. Melissa and Sammy get their dishes nominated with Lee, and Melissa gets the win. The blue team nominates Jermaine, Jonathan, and Ryan's dishes, and Jonathan gets the win. The only issue I saw with this challenge was Hurricane Carmen. She was a pretty decent cook in episode 1, but in this episode, she was pretty annoying and she wasn't much of a team player. She spent a great deal of time trying to promote her scallop dish while tearing down the other dishes for any old reason. Luckily, none of the women caved into the peer pressure, but I can see Carmen being an issue down the line. Next up is the first dinner service for the season, and it was easily one of the worst first dinner services in Hell's Kitchen history. Gordon eventually kicks both teams out of the kitchen, but the blue team made far more mistakes than the red team. I said that in my first review that Tad had no business being on the show, but chefs like Tad make it on every season of Hell's Kitchen because the show needs some level of entertainment and people like Tad provide it. But one could argue that Jason made just as many mistakes, if not more, than Tad. That's right, Jason, the most accomplished chef to ever come into the Hell's Kitchen competition, somehow served raw protein on 3 different occasions. And in my mind, Jason had one job and he blew it. Now, Brad made some mistakes during his dinner service, but he owned up to it and he fell on his sword. I was surprised to see that he was up for elimination and not Jason. But in my opinion, Jason is working on borrowed time, and he has no chance of getting into the black jacket round. Tad deserved to get eliminated, and I wish him nothing but the best going forward. I think Brad might surprise everyone, and he might make it into the black jacket round as an alternate, but I don't think he would make far after that. As for the red team, the bulk of their mistakes fell on Carmen, Atoy, and Sandra. But out of these 3, I will say that Atoy is the only chef that is on the show for the right reasons. However, I think that none of these chefs have any chance of making it to the black jacket round. Carmen is too loony, Sandra doesn't have the temperament to be the type of leader that Gordon wants, and Atoy isn't the refined chef that Gordon is looking for this type of job opportunity. But I can't end my discussion about the red team without talking about the elephant in the room, and that's Claudia. I'm not sure if she's nervous, crazy, or if giggling about everything is just something that she does where she's from. All I know is that Gordon would get rid of her on GP if she continues to giggle in front of him. There's no way he would take her seriously, even if she turns things around and cooks amazing food. Giggling is just silly. Now, with that being said, here is who I feel will be the best picks for the black jacket round. And while I feel that anything could change between now and a few months from now, I'm willing to bet that at least 4 of these people will get the black jacket. But those are my thoughts, and this marks the end of my review. If you have any questions or comments related to the review or the episode, feel free to leave them below in the comment section and I'll reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.